said yesterday that the 180 maximum period before mandatory bail is granted only began when he was remanded in the civilian court on February 21st, which means it falls short by 12 days to meet the requirement to secure bail. The government denies targeting opposition figures and says all those who have been detained have committed crimes. And away from Africa, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has given his first reaction to the announcement of Trump-Putin meeting next week, saying Ukraine will not give their land to occupiers. In a statement on the messaging app Telegram, Zelensky says any solution without Ukraine will be a solution against peace. This comes after President Donald Trump announced that he will be meeting Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska on Friday, 15th August, to discuss the war in Ukraine. Trump signaled that Ukraine may have to cede territory in a peace deal with Russia, telling reporters that there will be some wrapping of territories. You're also listening to Global Box on Adamimogo 107.7 FM. Idoekiti. Coming up next, European countries warn Israel over plans for Gaza. Do join us again.
The Nigerian army has taken custody of two of the...
Get ready to dive into the latest headlines,
Nigerians deported from the United
in-depth stories, and breaking updates that matter to you.
To face the challenge to be able to fulfill the dream and the aspiration.
From local events to global affairs, we've got you covered. Stay with us as we unravel the stories shaping our world today. This is Adamimogo 107.7 FM News.
Welcome back and thanks for joining us again. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook via Adamimogo 107.7 FM Idoekiti. For happenings around your news and queries, please contact our newsroom on 0915 786 8095. Now to the rest of the news. The Foreign Minister of Britain, Australia, Germany, Italy, and New Zealand said in a joint statement that the Israeli offensive plan on Gaza would endanger the lives of hostages and risk violating international humanitarian law. This comes a day after Israel's Security Cabinet approved an operation to take military control of Gaza City and concluded the full takeover of the enclave is required to end the conflict. In their joint statement, the UK and its allies said they strongly reject the decision, adding that it will endanger the lives of the hostages and further risk the mass displacement of civilians. Mexico's government is seeking compensation for Adidas, accusing the sportswear giant of cultural appropriation for launching a new shoe design strikingly similar to traditional indigenous footwear known as huaraches. Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum said during a regular news conference that the design is a collective intellectual property, therefore there must be compensation for heritage law, and heritage law must be complied with. She confirmed that Mexico is making efforts towards legal path to provide support for the brand users. The government said that Adidas representatives had agreed to meet the authorities. Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko said in an interview that he did not intend to seek another term and denied he was lining up for his son as a successor. Lukashenko, a close ally of Russian President Vladimir Putin, has led Belarus through more than 3 decades of authoritarian rule and was re-elected in January for another 5-year term and 6 previous terms. He said that whoever replaced him would not break any right away but keep developing the country in order to avoid any revolutionary breakdown. And finally on sport, Jake Paul is the front runner to face Anthony Joshua in his next fighting. According to the British heavyweight promoter Eddie Hearn, the YouTuber turned professional boxer has emerged as the leading candidate despite the unusual nature of the potential matchup. Joshua, who has not fought since losing to Daniel Dubious in September last year, underwent elbow surgery in May but is targeting a return to the ring later this year. Paul has recently defeated veterans Mike Tyson and Julius Caesar Jr. at heavyweight and others, propelling himself into contention for a bout with the former unified world champions. And with that sports story, we end this edition of Global Box on Adamimogo 107.7 FM, Ido Ekiti. Just before we go, the highlight again. We told you that here in Nigeria, the Dangote Petroleum Refinery has said premium motor spirits, popularly called petrol, at its refinery remains 850 naira per litre, therefore shutting down rumors of an increase in product prices. We also brought to you that the Niger's military government has announced the nationalization of the country's sole industrial gold mine, accusing its Australian operators of serious breaches as the junta seeks greater control of natural resources. Finally, we reported that foreign ministers of Britain, Australia, Germany, Italy, and New Zealand said in a joint statement that the Israeli offensive plan on Gaza will endanger the lives of hostages and risk violating international humanitarian law. And that's Global Box this afternoon on Adamimogo 107.7 FM, Olujidos Palace, Ido Ekiti. On behalf of the production crew, I am Oladoyin Ayegbusi.